I'm the type of guy when I make a mistake, I do own up to it. Nick own up to it, but I don't need it. I don't need it thrown back in my face. I really hate to bring it up again unless it's with someone who's my boss. As a senior, I said this before in a leadership interview. I'm not at the stage where I do like to get loud and get up in some people's face. So no, I haven't confronted Nick about that personally. I seen him going into the dorm as I was driving by, and I just told him I love him. That's all I said. I grabbed him and I dapped him up in the team meeting. Like I said, this is something where I know him personally. I know it's a bad decision, and I know it's truly remorse. I can tell from the look on his eyes. I can tell from the words coming out of his mouth.
Did you have similar? You at the team meeting?
I grabbed him.
Grabbed him up. Did you have some similar conversations with your buddy Isaiah when he got kicked out of Georgia?
Say again, I'm sorry.
When Isaiah got kicked out of Georgia, did you have some similar conversations about, second chances and stuff like that?
I knew Isaiah personally as well. This is not something that I can recall talking on the phone with or even meeting with. It's more so, just knowing the guy, knowing that he'll bounce back. And that's really what he did. There's been worse cases, people bounce back, and there's no doubt I know that Nick will.
Do you think Nick looked at coming here as a privilege or something he was actually looking forward to before this happened?
Coming here is a privilege. Coming to Auburn University is a privilege. Nick knew that, and he handled the responsibility like that. There was an incident this past weekend, but if you take that incident away, then we really wouldn't be having this discussion. He's handled himself on and off the field, as far as I know, greatly, and that's school. Of course that's on the field, but really and truly, in the neighborhood, and in the community, I can account for 2 or 3 times already he's done work with the community that hasn't been mandatory, and you don't get that out of a guy with a bad attitude. You just don't.
Do you think Nick looked at coming here to media days as kind of a privilege before this?
Definitely.
Does it bother you though that you're having to sit here and answer questions about him, or is it like you just know that's going to happen because of the issues?
I'm a realist, so I feel like you just have to welcome that, so I'm not going to say it's nothing. I'm not going to say I wouldn't want it, not to be asked. But in all honesty, I have no decision making on what happens to Nick with Jonathan Messi. Mm-hmm. I can accept responsibility for what happens after the fact, from the term of looking out for them more. Because when stuff like that happens, that's really all the guy needs is someone tag him along, bring him in closer. So that's what us 3 and the rest of the seniors can do as a whole. But ultimately, Coach Mazan will make the decision on their behalf.
You already know what since y'all have rules written out, I guess, but you already know what's going to happen today?
Before each season, our compliance lays out the rules, regulations of both NCAA and Auburn, and that's just not that's everything from cars, agents, we always have the meetings before the next season.
How do you think the team will respond to Nick after this?
If anything, I know my brothers, we would want to really get behind him. This isn't a thing. He hasn't shown me, like I said, there's no malice toward Nick. He hasn't shown me enough negativity for that. Yes, will I say I respect him less for this? No. I respect him as a man because that's really all he showed me. If I can't tell you I haven't been knocked down before, but build back up, then I'll be a liar. So it happens. I'm not saying it happens in the sense that we're gonna let it happen again or let this thing continue to happen, because ultimately I have no say so in what the consequences will be. I just know there will be further more talks, or whether we have to have more senior meetings to get this done. The truth of the matter is it was 2 seniors, and that's what sticks up to us 3 and the rest of the team. It was the team senior leader. So.
My reaction, I called him and asked him to help him out. He's been nothing but a great piece of this fun journey we've been on last year, and just let him know that I'm there for him and I can help him out whenever he needs me to.
I have full faith in them, and we're just going to take it as it goes.
Is it a privilege, or would you rather be sleeping in, or is this fun? Or?
Oh no, I love it. You know, I feel like it's a privilege and honor to be here representing Auburn with Gabe and Reese, and you know, I'm sure they feel the exact same way. You know, I'm glad to be here and you know representing the school.
When did you find out? How did you, and what was your reaction to having to fill in for Nick?
I found out yesterday. Not really sure what time. But Coach Maslon called me, and he was like, "How would you feel about coming to media day?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to. That's awesome." And he said, "Good. Do you have a suit?" And I was like, "Yeah, I need to call my mom right now so that I can get it." And so she drove it to me. I mean, I called her, and she was there in like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I was like, "Mom, I hope you didn't speed," because she got there pretty quick. And I didn't even, I mean, this is my first time wearing this suit, so I'm glad it kind of fits, you know, nicely. But yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely a shock, but it's definitely an honor.